Hey everybody, welcome to the My Moment video series. This is video 5.1 on the Increasing My Presence Through Awareness track. Thanks for coming today. So we've already kind of talked about just becoming more aware of our own bodies. And we've talked about how we can take 5 minutes and listen to ourselves and find some space to say a yes to what we see and what we feel. So today I want to talk a little bit about anchor points. And anchor points are the things that I think of that kind of hold me to the earth. I don't know, for me, sometimes life is just insane and crazy. And I need things that keep me grounded physically, that help me really repair those places where I might be doing those micro zoning outs, those micro dissociations that I used to do hundreds of times a day, because I was trying to kind of counterbalance all of the hyper focus and hyper vigilance in my life. So physically, I need things just that keep me grounded. But I also have in my life these routines, and sometimes they've been really subconscious. But over the last few years, I've really been working to make them more conscious and more intentional, because when my world gets chaotic and crazy and out of control, and I'm feeling that way, what I've noticed sometimes is I may have gotten away from some of my anchor points just because life got in the way and I haven't been able to do them. And the way back to being feet flat on the ground again is to come back to those anchor points. So anchor points can be seen in a lot of things. It can be seen in things we wear. I wear this every day, and the story of it is kind of complex. But this is one of my precious things that grounds me. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, this is one of the things that reminds me of who I am. My wedding rings here and here, that is grounding to me. Those are anchor points that remind me of what my life's about, in one area of my life. And then I have routines that help a lot. So I found out I really love just drinking out of Starbucks cups. It's got the straw I like. They come in lots of colors. They do a new one like every, however long, and it helps. And wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm talking to, my cups are this part of me, this expression of me that follows me all the time. And when I noticed that this was something that I loved, I really started investing in it and intentionally making sure that I have one all the time. So even when I travel, I'll take an empty one with me. I have them different places in my life. I've got them at work, I've got them at home, and I pretty much always have one with me no matter what. And it kind of feeds into the other things that I want to do with my life, like the coping skills that I want to use, because it encourages me to drink, which is great. And it's a visual clue that reminds me of the anchor to my personal goals and the things that are really important to me. And so that anchor point is so helpful. Everyone has heard me talk about naps, and it's such a weird thing, but naps are really big deal to me. And I've really kind of been noticing how much more of a big deal than I even realized they were, because they are a hugely important anchor point for me. So no matter how much sleep I get, regardless of how much sleep I get, there are times when my mind is just so active, and it has all these different connections it's making, and it's, and I will try a number of things to make it get quiet again, to kind of just, and it won't. It just spins up and spins up and spins up. And I've noticed that about myself. And I've really kind of struggled with, what do I want to do with that? What do I want to do with that fact? And I've tried lots of different things, but what I've realized for me is that if I could just accept that about myself and that I get really spun up and that I need a neurological reset, basically, um, it's easier. It's just better. And so I will take a nap. And taking a nap, it allows me, it's probably my most important anchor point. If I were asked about what is your most important anchor point, the naps for me is definitely that, because it allows me to, it grounds me back physically, mentally, emotionally. It brings me very much to the present, and my mind, it feels like a complete reset. And so that one is a huge, huge anchor point for me. After I've done something really intense and really that required a lot of focus, a lot of energy output, I go thrifting. That's another anchor point for me. There's something about the randomness of everything around me and that sense of history and all of that, that again, it anchors me. It lets me come back into myself. It lets me reconnect with who I am, and I get to notice things that I enjoy. And there's all these weird things that you'd never find at any other store altogether. And there's something about the chaos of it that makes me really peaceful inside, and that really, again, just anchors me. When I'm excited, and also when I'm driving, talking to my mom is a really big anchor point for me. Just calling her on the phone, calling my sister, or calling one of my friends. It feels really efficient because I'm driving and getting to catch up with someone. But it also is that kind of companionship, connection, anchor point for me, that allows me to be closer to my network. And so, and when I'm having a day that I feel really depleted, I have this bread shop that I like to go to, and I'll get a piece of bread, and that really helps me. And so really for me, this journey of anchor points has been a lot about just noticing things about myself and radically embracing them, just saying, yeah, that's the way I am, and that's the way I want to be, and that's okay. And there have been things that, I have wanted to do differently. Um, Things that I want to build and grow, how much exercise I get through the week, how much rest I get in general at night, all the healthy things that we try to do for ourselves that are really, really hard. And I think those are fantastic. But for myself personally, without my anchor points, without being able to recognize these are the things that keep me grounded in the earth and in who I am, without those things, I have a really hard time. So, what I would challenge you today is just to identify maybe 3 anchor points for you. What is kind of a daily anchor point that helps you? What is a way that you start your day that makes you feel like you're in the groove? Could be your work day, could be your home day, whatever it is. What are some ways you end your day, perhaps? What are some things that you do when you feel overwhelmed in your mind and everything feels crazy and chaotic? That again anchors you back, that brings you back to yourself. Um, and what do you do when you're excited? What is something that you like to do that kind of connects you to your life and to your people when you have something you want to share? So I would just encourage you to write those down. And then as you start to feel different things through the week, ask yourself, is there an anchor point that I missed today? Did I get out of my groove somewhere? Was I not able to ground myself? And how could I ground myself right now? What anchor point would be helpful for me right now, to be able to get back in that groove that makes me feel like I have margin and space and grace for myself? So anyway, thanks so much for being here. It has been fantastic to have you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.